Chapter 10, we are going to talk about property acquisition and cost recovery. And you'll see that Chapter 10 is going to be split across the next two lessons. So for this lesson, we are going to focus on the property acquisition and cost recovery of tangible personal property. And then we'll get into some other concepts in the next lesson that relate to cost recovery as well. So first, we want to talk about the disposal of assets. So how do we get rid of our business assets? So you may sell them, you may trash them, you may gift them to somebody else, or you may donate your business assets. So anytime you get rid of your business assets or dispose of them, we need to determine how to account for that process. The first thing we want to do is we want to talk about whether we are going to capitalize these business assets and expense them over time, or if we are going to immediately expense the whole amount of the asset. So we need to determine which process we are going to use. Once we determine if we are going to capitalize an asset, we need to talk about the basis of that asset. How do we calculate exactly how much goes into the basis? Any special cases that are associated with calculating the basis? And then we can begin the cost recovery process. And for tangible personal property, we are going to do that through depreciation. Since we're going to use depreciation, we want to give a brief history on what depreciation is and how it is determined. And we also want to talk about the differences between book depreciation and tax depreciation. These will not be the same amount, more likely than not. Very few businesses actually use the tax depreciation on their books. So we will need to talk about the differences between book and tax depreciation. For tax purposes, we are going to use what is called the MACRS process, the Modified Accelerated Cost Recovery System. Again, that's abbreviated MACRS, M-A-C-R-S. And we will talk about how we determine the amount of depreciation that is allowed for tax purposes. So again, this is the first part of Chapter 10, and we will get into the second part of Chapter 10 in the next lesson. If you have any questions, please reach out and we'll be happy to help you.